I'd like to talk about a two-colored warp in Sprung. You can see that we have yarn on the Sprung loom, and we start by tying 2 knots here. You go down to the bottom of the frame, you go around the frame and up the back, and up and over this rod, and then down to the front of the bottom of the frame and back up around, and just keep spiraling until you have as many strands as you want, and then you make 2 ties here, and that's the end of your warp. So you've got a strand. In this case, this is hand spun, hand dyed with indigo, and then just undyed. These 2 knots are, because they're going to the front of the frame at the bottom, they're going to be part of the front fabric. So I'm just sliding those knots to the front, and these knots, just pushing them a little bit to the back. You have strands of yarn going down the back, so there's actually 2 layers here. You can see there's 2 strands of indigo, 2 strands of undyed, and so on across. And what that gives you, if I can bring my diagram here, is 2 ends of one color and 2 ends of another color. So we'll call that an AABB warp. You'll see this if you look in Peter Collingwood's The Techniques of Sprang. He talks about having a warp like this, and he tells you how to get it on the frame. And this is good. It'll give you checkered fabric. But if you want to change to this, where you have one end of one color, one end of another color, and repeat, you can do that with this setup if you use double twists every other interlinking. So that's what I'm going to show, changing from this to this. First I'll show what you get if you just have that. So my hand is between the 2 layers, and starting row 1, so we've got our row 1. There's more twists that built up in mirror fashion. They're going to get pushed to the bottom. And I like to work with sticks. And then row 2. There goes all my sticks on the floor. So I'll just grab one out of the bottom and put it in there, so you can see that the fabric is checkered. Alright, so if we don't want that, we just undo our twists. And that's picking out all the twists, and I'm going to take them out of the bottom as well, so push down. And we want to change to this. I've discovered that funny things happen in selvage, so I'm going to try just pushing those 2 away and ignoring them, and we're not going to use them. So we've got all our front and back who put our hand in the shed, and we start row 1. And you can see when I interlink it, a blue interlinks with blue and a white interlinks with white. So we know that this is not the row in which we're going to do the double twist, because you have to do that when strands of different colors are interlinking with each other. So we're going to do that in row 2. So this is the end of row 1. Push the twist down to the bottom. Start row 2. And that brought a white thread up to the front, a blue to the back. So this next one we want to send the blue back around with a double twist. This is just single twist, double twist. Every other one gets a double twist. And instead of having stripes, now we've got solid, everything on the front half of the fabric is a solid color, and all the blue's gone to the back, and so what this will give us is horizontal stripes. So we'll do another row 1. And row 2, just make sure I know which is which. Okay. And normally I would be putting sticks in between the rows. But as you can see, you don't have to use sticks. It just makes things easier. And you can see if you kept going, you would get horizontal stripes, one color, the next color, and that's the result of that warp structure, which you got from this warp structure in that row where every other twist was a double twist. Thank you.